the bell tower in Chapel Hill to the house that Anson Dorrance built, home to the North Carolina Tar Heels, #2 in the country, and in 2023, they're going for their 23rd national championship. Today, it's their home opener against Cal out of the Pac-12 right here at the aptly named Dorrance Field in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And good afternoon, everyone. Dean Linke along with Kyle Straub, and here we go. The Tar Heels in pursuit of number 23.
I love this time of the year, don't you? Beginning of the year, every team has that ability to go try and put together a special season. But from a fan standpoint, from our perspective, you get to see those newcomers, whether it's transfers nowadays or the freshmen coming in. But you also have those returning players who put in the work in the offseason to become better and, in turn, make their team better.
Kyle, by Carolina standards, 2021 a disappointment, but a great season a year ago.
It's kind of weird and feels wrong to say, but almost a bounce-back year for the Tar Heels. You look at what they did a couple of years ago, made the NCAA tournament, kept that streak alive, but bounced in the first round. Very unlike Carolina. Right back at it next year, though. They were in that national championship last year. Just came up a little bit short against UCLA, getting number 23, but man, they bring so many players back from that team. I mean, they lead the ACC with 3 preseason All-ACC members, and the crazy thing is Avery Patterson still on the team, led the team in scoring last year. Not one of the 3 named. They're loaded.
When we take a look at Cal, we focus on their goalkeeper, #1, Tegan Wye.
And it's really got to come down to defense for them. She needs those players in front of her on the defensive line to help out. They gave up 4 goals in that loss in the season opener. They've got to get tighter, and she's going to really need to direct traffic against this North Carolina offense.
See the Cal outlook. That's Neil McGuire, his 17th season. He coached Alex Morgan all 4 years, and the greatest coach, in my opinion, any sport, any gender, Anson Dorrance. 22 national championships in his first 44 years. Looking for number 23 this season. Cal, North Carolina on the bounce.
Don't you wish your phone was fun like this?
Don't you wish your phone looked more like this?
Don't you wish your phone could flex like this?
Don't you wish your phone could fit in here? Don't you?
Nice footwork.
Man, you're lucky. Watching live sports never used to be this easy. Now you can stream all your games like it's nothing.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about!
Oh, here he comes!
Running up and down that field looks tough.
It's a pitch.
Get way more into what you're into when you stream on the Xfinity 10G network.
We're bringing big back. It's bigger, cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. Y'all hungry? Better be hungry.
Fly to Paris. See the tower. Smaller than you expected. Wait in line. See the Mona Lisa. Smaller than you expected. Check in. See your room. Bigger than you expected. Join One Key, where Gold and Platinum members get travel perks like room upgrades.
Since I was really young, whether it was basketball, football, track, I've always been one of the most athletic ones on my team, so I had a lot of faith in myself. But in my second year in the league, having drops and things like that can mess with a young kid's confidence. I realized natural talent is not enough. It's always work ethic. Once I really understood that, I never looked back.
Look at us, all together again.
Shot!
One shot. Cheers. They can't kill us, right? Ever since he showed up, he turned his family vacation into chaos. Who does that? We just wanted to give you guys a real honeymoon.
Just found this crawling under our table.
He's crawling?
It's your first time!
It's a prodigy. It's amazing.
Vacation Friends 2, rated R, only on Hulu.
Welcome back to Dorrance Field as we get you set with the starting lineups for both teams, including the #2 team in the country, the North Carolina Tar Heels. Lineups are set. There's California, Neil McGuire. They'll go with a 4-3-3. McMahon actually played with Savvy King on that Slammers team. As you take a look at The California 4-3-3 led by Neil McGuire, Carly Lima, one of the top players, and one change. Thomas will start for Sember. Savvy King won that ECNL championship playing against Thomas and the Michigan Hawks. Let me tell you, folks, Savvy King against Penn State was out of this world. Fantastic. Now her second game. Carolina out there in their Carolina blue uniforms. Cal in their white uniforms. Great to be alongside Kyle Straub. I'm Dean Linke, and great to be at Dorrance Field for their home opener. North Carolina traveled to Happy Valley on Thursday for a top 10 matchup. A weather delay in that one. No score, 0-0 against two great teams.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking you really can't ask for much better weather. It's a hot day, but it's August in North Carolina. You have to expect that. And coming off of a game where you had to deal with rain, barely a cloud in the sky here today, and the field looks phenomenal.
Cal started the season in Knoxville and got behind 2-0, and head coach Neil McGuire, now in his 17th season by way of Scotland, said the game kind of opened up and they just were not able to get in their rhythm. But he very proudly said that it's important to play these kind of games. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And he also said it's important. We're way out in upstate California. He wants the team to see the world, and no better than ended up in Chapel Hill.
It's a great way to test yourself with that cross-country first couple of games. You kind of get all the distractions out of the way by being so far away from home. It's going to be really important the first 15 minutes of this first half, Dean, to see how Cal handles the high pressure that North Carolina is going to put on them.
There's Neil McGuire in his 17th season. He's only not made the NCAA tournament 3 times. That was in 2020 and 21 in addition to 2018, but he got him back in there last year. Good little move here for the Tar Heels. Shot from distance, not on frame. That was part of the issue on Thursday. They had a ton of shots. At one point, they were out shooting Penn State 18-3. But Penn State had 3 shots on frame and North Carolina only 2. They need to get them on frame.
A couple of storylines for North Carolina that will develop throughout this game, throughout this season, is some positional moving. Ali Sentnor, who just had that first shot for Carolina, an attacker last year, moved into that center midfield there. And I feel like with Anson Dorrance's teams, when he's able to put his best player in that spot is when they've had the most success.
Talia Della Peruta looking to earn a corner kick. It'll be a corner kick, Tar Heels. Of course, the Tar Heels led by Anson Dorrance. I first met him in '89 when I was still in college doing an internship.
I was 4.
You were 4, and he was leading the team that would win the world championship in '91. I remember being in that first meeting, and he told his team they're going to go out there and work so hard that their intestines are going to turn into diamonds. He's got a lot of diamonds. He's got a lot of rings, 22. In fact, leading the North Carolina Tar Heels.
You got a lot when you can't put them on all the fingers and toes. You don't have enough to hold them.
Here's the corner kick for the Tar Heels, trying to find Macy Bell. Great to see her back, and North Carolina has scored. It did not take long for the Tar Heels. Avery Patterson, you talked about Avery Patterson, and Avery Patterson delivers the goods.
Well, what happened here, so much attention drawn to Macy Bell, and rightfully so, really dangerous off these set pieces. And you see on the back side of it, after that ball sailed over, Patterson able to sneak behind the defense, almost unmarked. Didn't get the greatest touch on it, but a great angle, a lot of traffic, and talked about those first 15 minutes. Well, Carolina wasted less than 3 minutes to get their first goal.
You nailed it. 13 goals and 8 assists a year ago in 22. And you're right, it is a little surprising she's not on that preseason All-ACC watch list.
Yeah, I think part of it is just because the ACC is so good. You look around the conference and the players that in the attacking position got named to it, it's hard to argue who you take off of that ACC team to put her on.
Moxley, good ball in. Read at the top of the 18 by Cal. Cal now will try to go the other way. Let's see how they can bounce back.
Moxley, really a great facilitator in the midfield for the Tar Heels. 8 assists last year, and you saw the vision there. That ball just needed a little bit more pace, but a great thought to try and get it through.
Well, that's one way to wipe away the frustration of 20-plus shots in Happy Valley without able to score a goal. Get it done in the first 3 minutes. Really well taken on the corner. Macy Bell, I was just starting to tell the story, suffered that knee injury in the first game and then hair in the second game. So Tori Hansen stepped in, had an All-American campaign, but they really missed those two players. Good to have them back.
Yeah, and that's the second positional change, is Bell moving from the middle of that back line out to right back, something that she actually requested from the coaching staff.
Cal on the move. This hit right there, really well defended as Hannah Cooper. Macy Bell electing to go on the right side with the emergence of Savvy King, the great freshman. I mean, she is a gazelle out there.
She is, and you know, it was really interesting when we talked with Anson before this game about that move. And you know, he said, listen, at this point in my career, I have free reign to do what I want. What I want to do is develop players so they can go on and have the most success and become the best player they can after they leave here. And for Bell, the next step for her is showing what she can also do on the offensive side of things. So not just being a defender, but helping on those wings to bring it up. So he's giving her that opportunity this season.
Yeah, they are really proud of the fact that nearly 60 players have earned caps coming out of North Carolina. There are 3 players on the roster and the coach for England, as I'm sure everybody in North Carolina is pulling for England. Spain is your World Cup winner early this morning.
Big congrats to Spain on that, but it was kind of funny to, you know, U.S. is loaded with UNC players most of the time, and they're the ones that won the last 2 World Cups. Well, this one wasn't the U.S., but it was England. Still Carolina represented in that championship game.
Eggman has done such a great job going player as the head coach for multiple international teams, and you got to believe the U.S. is thinking about her, but according to her contract, I think she's tied up for a little bit. Good switch at point of attack here for the Cal Golden Bears. Daly, center of the midfield, along with Lizzie Vranish. Vranish making her first start, freshman.
We talk about trying to test yourself if you're Cal coming across the country to open these couple of games and playing the best. Here's an opportunity for the freshman.
Thomas, the Michigan Hawks superstar, and handled there that time by Y.
Anson told us she's got a strong enough leg. She can take a shot from distance. So the second she had that ball at her feet, you have to be wary as a defender.
Thomas.
Part of the #1 overall recruiting class there for Anson Dorrance's coaching staff this season.
Michigan Hawks made it to the ECNL U19 National Championship game, and Savvy King marked her along with Cal's Melina McMahon, wearing number 14 and starting today at right back.
Talk about a star-studded game. 3 players represented out here on this field from those 2 teams.
McMahon actually played center back along with Savvy King in that game, so between the 2 of them, Thomas did not have much room. There's the speed of Savvy King trying to get to it, and it looks like it'll go off of Savvy King. It'll be a corner kick Cal.
And this is good for Cal to be able to just kind of settle down a little bit after getting shell-shocked, giving up that goal in the first 3 minutes. As you look at Savvy King there, the thing that you're going to notice is how short she is. Doesn't really fit for usually being in the middle of that defensive line, but man, the tenacity she has, you said it great before this, she plays bigger than what she's listed at.
I'll tell you right now, I honestly think she is U.S. national team ready already. That's how good she was in that ECNL final. And then when I saw her recovery speed against Penn State loaded with veterans, I'm like, this young lady is phenomenal. And she is mild and meek and sweet off the field, but Anson Dorrance, in typical Anson way, the fight that she has on the field, she is so competitive. She had a big time sliding tackle and she got up and pumped her fist like Tiger Woods style. I mean, bringing that competitive zeal.
That's what you want. That really helps to spark a team when you have a player who is that quiet, almost kind of catches you off guard, but then you get on the field and you can't miss her.
Great ball over the top as they try to find the speedster Thomas. It'll be another corner kick North Carolina.
Timing just a little bit off there for Carolina, but you can see that speed of the freshman Thomas. Patterson getting out wide as well. Relentless. That's what the word is to describe Carolina's attack, and they can do so because they're so deep. You'll see that as this game progresses. Anson with his line changes. It's something Cal won't see any other time throughout the year.
That's so well said. It's a new system unique with the 4-box and 3 in the back. I've seen the 4-box for years with the North Carolina Courage, but with 4 in the back. This one's sent in. They're looking to find Thomas on the near post. And Cal in transition. Now watch him get back so quickly. Look at the gazelle, Macy Bell.
Just gonna say, just watch 25 as she just smoothly glides through and recovers.
There's Savvy King already with an interception.
And that's one of the reasons that I think that Anson was so okay with moving her to right back, because she's got such long, effortless strides. She can help out that offense, but at the same time, get back on defense really quick.
One of the things that you didn't see a ton in that Penn State game is that direct ball over the top that North Carolina's already looked to find, and then the crossing pass trying to find Thomas. So hopefully we'll see more of that. Meza was, I mean, truly Messi-like against Penn State. I mean, the conditions were terrible, and she was slicing and dicing all over the field. She was ridiculous. And
not to compare her to the GOAT. Here's Sentnor.
So we dropped to Patterson's got one already. Patterson, she went to get it back on her right foot with a right-footed pass. Turned back over to Cal, but go ahead.
Not to say, you know, you're on the same level as a player like Messi. There's nobody that is, but you look at them and their style of play, talking about Sam Meza, the stature is kind of similar. So they're closer to the ground, a little bit of a smaller player. They've got that ability in the lateral movement. They're quick, that they can go and dribble through and make it almost look like they're at a different level than everybody else out there.
Well said, Kyle Straub. If you just popped in late and weren't here in the first 3 minutes, Avery Patterson off a corner kick that was just flicked a little bit by Macy Bell finishes for the first goal of the season, the home opener for North Carolina. That's where we stand. North Carolina 1, Cal 0. My favorite time of the year, the start of the college soccer season. And you can't ask to be at a better place than Dorrance Field.
You can't. This facility is amazing. We've been raving about it since they constructed it a couple of years ago.
Macy Bell has her pocket picked. Cal turning the other way. Lima, junior out of Morgan Hill, California, won it first. Now they'll play it right side. They'll find Hannah Cooper. Cooper with Elgin taking a look at her. Looking for the end line and looking for the corner kick. Ooh, good play by Elgin to win it back.
It looked like it was going to be a corner all day long, but able to play it off of the attacker, get a goal kick.
Sammy Allen, the redshirt sophomore out of High Point, North Carolina. Now, the goalkeeper coach, Nathan Thackeray, is also the goalkeeper coach for the North Carolina Courage, who has Casey Murphy, who was on the World Cup team. He told me that Emmy Allen, her work habits on the field, and he said more importantly off the field, how she eats, how she sleeps, how she reads up on the game, how she watches video. She's already pro ready based on that approach. A really big time review from Nathan Thackeray, the goalkeeper.
And that's the reason that you see Carolina playing her all 90 between the pipes. That's not typical for this team. They'll switch goalkeepers at the half a lot of times, but you've got a player that has that mentality. That's the difference between somebody being a really good player and being a great all-time type player.
Of course, Nathan Thackeray, part of a staff under Anson Dorrance that also includes their associate head coach Damon Nahas and former Tar Heel Alex Kimball. Good ball, Thomas. The touch gets away from her as I was ready to wind up the first career goal for Olivia Thomas, but that first touch not quite there.
Look at this ball from Sentnor. Threaded the needle. Just through those defenders, the touch a little bit off for Thomas. It actually looked like she was just on the wrong stride, left foot down when she was trying to get the touch with the right.
Still waiting for Maddie Darlene, who was so good a year ago, to make her appearance. She's been bothered by a little bit of nick, a little bit of knocks here and there, but the word is she's really close to be cleared. And Anson indicated that there might be a chance we see her today. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, wow, wide open, and it's tied at 1. Allen Patterson not able to close that time, and California on the breakaway has scored the goal going to Carly Lima.
A freshman mistake there from King. Took a shallow angle, and that ball over the top allowed Lima to get behind her. You can see her trying to recover, took a shallow angle out, and Allen kind of caught in between. You either have to commit and go out like she did and hope you get a piece of that ball, or retreat. Huge for Cal to equalize this one.
Wow. Well done by Lima to, we mentioned the way that Savvy King can get back, and her recovery time is incredible, but she did not have the angle there. Carly Lima, 5'10" junior, made the perfect run, ran right to the ball, and then you're just one-on-one. You got to make one little move, and that's what she did.
I think that speaks to this roster for Cal, a very veteran-laden roster. You go down 1-0 on the road in the first 3 minutes, but they didn't panic. Settled into this game, found an opportunity, and they were able to cash in on it.
Setnor over to Moxley. Quick little touch from Colton. AC Bell. She's got the freedom to push forward, not just on corner kicks. She'll lose it first time, tries to get it back. Good hustle. Went back though by the freshman McMahon.
Nice aggressiveness there from McMahon to get to that ball.
Lima, a couple years ago, made the Pac-12 all-freshman team, described by Neil McGuire as one of the top strikers in the game, and definitely demonstrating that early on. Throw it into aforementioned Lima. Cooper. Now McMahon.
Lima's second on the team last year with 5 goals in the 17 games that she started.
Here's a turnover for North Carolina. They're ready to pounce as they find the feet of Thomas. Thomas, one-on-one speed, can play it to herself, much like Lynn Williams, who made the World Cup team for the USA. Here's Patterson. Patterson will drop it back over. Sentinel. Little move, 4 white jerseys. Try this again. Meza. She can hit it from deep, not afraid to crank it. Didn't like the angle. Will dish it out wide right, hoping to get it back. Meza. Watch how this sticks to her feet like glue. That one's poked away.
It was a really strong defensive effort right there from Cal.
Turnover here. Thomas lurking behind and knocked away by Courtney Boone. Boy, Boone, lucky right there.
It's been a couple of times already in this game where Thomas, the freshman, has had the ball at her feet, and that first touch has just been a little bit too aggressive. I almost wonder if it's the nerves of playing in front of the home crowd for the first time.
Throw in North Carolina. Thomas comes over to help the throw in. North Carolina looking for a corner kick. They'll get it. Corner kick, North Carolina.
He scored off the set piece. Lacey Bell going to the top of the box. Her and Patterson are the combo that worked for Carolina early in this first half. See if they go back to it.
Bell and Patterson as the 2 potential targets again. Elgin looking for Bell. Over top of Bell. Meza is there. Meza back in and knocked out of there. Man will try to clear it. That was Coco Thistle, part of the San Jose Earthquakes program. Thomas. That's the 3rd time, the first touch. You know that she is so close to getting one. What a threat right at the top of the line there, shoulder to shoulder in that back line.
Yeah, if she could just settle that first touch a little bit more, she's got a wide open shot at the goal.
That one played by Kylie Kerr, who knows this North Carolina team really well. She played for the UCLA Bruins a year ago. Beat North Carolina twice, including in that national championship game. Had 1 more year left, getting extra education, but no longer for UCLA, now at Cal.
Just another one of those fun storylines, which you can have whatever opinion you want on transfers, but it creates these kind of opportunities.
What a close from Emily Colton.
It was Kerr right there that helped to break it up for Cal.
Lima has the equalizer for the Golden Bears. Back by North Carolina. Taken down from behind. They'll call a whistle. Will we see a card here? We will. There will be a yellow card issued.
Looks like that's Skylar Briggs, the senior, and yeah, I think that's justified. You were beat, tried to slide tackle, and got nothing but legs. It's a dangerous play there.
Skylar Briggs, of course, really impressed with Melina McMahon winning the ECNL National Championship, as she also is a former Slammers player and a California State High School champion. Here's Elgin. Meza. There's Kerr, former Bruin that we just talked about. Tegan Y. U.S. Youth National Team experience. Patterson, who got the first goal 3 minutes in. There's Y. Rancho Santa Margarita, California, part of the SoCal Blues program. Savvy King was with them for a while, but then moved over to the Slammers and left with a national championship. Thomas drops it to the feet of Moxley. They'll get it out wide right. Inside the 18.
It was a really nice first touch there from Della Peruta. Couldn't get through that last line with the shot.
(1-1). And you're right, after losing 4-1, and it's interesting too because Neil McGuire told me this morning that the second goal was the one where it really kind of broke the heart of Cal, and then they just couldn't get into rhythm as they tried to chase the game, eventually falling 4-1 to a very good Tennessee team.
And as a coach, especially these early games, you hope that your team learns from whatever mistakes that they may have in these ones before you get to conference play. I think he can be happy with the first half because you've already seen them learning from that result. They've been able to stay on top, not let the goal early deflate them, and they've gotten themselves into a nice little rhythm here.
Boy, both teams kind of some unforced turnovers. Picked back off by Patterson. Boy, that's a brilliant tackle. Patterson. Now calling for it is Moxley. She's on it. Moxley. What a move. Shot from distance and denied. Emily Colton. Colton has an engine that'll go all day.
Just one goal last year, but she makes turns on a ball like that this season. She's going to find herself with a bunch of opportunities to add to that tally.
Yeah, she did have 6 assists, and you can see why. Savvy King. Maybe thinking a little bit about that equalizer from Cal as Elgin makes the run forward.
Hopefully she's not. Think about it after the game. You got to let that one go right now. Stay within this game, within this minute, so that you don't have somebody get in behind you again.
Interesting. We talked a lot about the North Carolina substitution pattern, but it's 3 subs coming in. You see Gray in for Borchers. Riley Harmon coming in for Daly. There's one more sub. We'll try to get you updated on here in a second. Thomas squares it, was looking to find Sentnor. Cleared away by Cal. It'll be a throw in North Carolina.
I've been impressed with the freshman Thomas getting her first career start in game number 2. Really has pushed the envelope for Carolina.
Thomas, oh, up the crossbar. Patterson lurking. Thomas that close to her first goal. It would have counted. The offside flag came afterwards. And Olivia Thomas, the freshman sensation from Michigan, oh so close.
Anson said she can strike it from distance, and she showed that ability here. Gets just a little bit of separation. Not even a full strike, but just inches. Get a good look at this one. Crossbar, best friend of the goalkeeper today.
Oh, my. Do you think Y got her fingers on that?
If she didn't, it was because the ball was high enough. She had great coverage there. I don't think it was sneaking in. I think the only way that one gets in is if it hits the bottom of the bar and you get that real quick ricochet bounce.
1-1. It is hot, folks. I mean, really hot. So they have scheduled a hydration break that we will have here in the first half. You know, just informed by our top man producing, Matt Krause. They'll also do it in the second half, as it is hot and muggy. Both these teams off to a hot start here. 1-1 back across and picked up again by Y.
High supposed to be 93 today here in Chapel Hill, and like I said, at the beginning of this game, not really much cloud cover, so you're not going to get any shade or reprieve from the sun.
What a glorious time for women's soccer worldwide. The World Cup was unbelievable. Yes, we're disappointed the USA didn't make it further, but as Anson Dorn so aptly put, he said, we didn't lose to Sweden. Just sometimes soccer cannot be just or fair, as they lost in penalty kicks. In fact, he made the point, he said, if you go back and just watch film of that game and you didn't know there was penalty kicks, you would think the USA won. Unfortunately, they couldn't put it in the back of the net.
Soccer's not a sport where you can just go and continuously play, but you're going to eventually just run yourself into the ground. So you've got to find a way to finish off those tiebreakers. But man, PKs are so brutal. To go out there as long as you do for a game and put in that effort, and it comes down to just penalty kicks.
Savage King. Fine Thomas handled there again. Courtney Boone, one of the Legends FC players, has been solid. We are indeed approaching that window for the water break. Right now, Cal trying to keep possession.
And they're doing a good job right here. This is the first sustained possession that Cal has really had in this first half.
Carolina has not made a change just yet. There's Meza all by herself. It felt like when it started, Thomas was offside, and
yeah, she knew she was too.
And that is the window, I believe, for the water break. Avery Patterson with a goal 3 minutes in. 9 minutes later, the answer from Carly Lima. We're tied at 1, Cal and the Tar Heels.
This just in, got the keys to what you want and what you need. Something new, something sleek, moving to a different beat. Okay now, can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll, please? That's nice, yeah. Yeah, can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum? That's nice.
Cynthia Suarez needed to buy new laptops for her growing team, so she used her American Express business card, which lets her earn extra membership rewards points on purchases for her business. Now she's the office MVP. Built for Cynthia's business. Built for your business, Amex Business.
ACC preseason coaches poll. Once again, no surprise. Anson Dorn's now in his 45th year, picked to win the ACC this season.
Bringing back as much as you do from a team that makes it all the way to the national championship just makes sense that you're going to be picked to win your conference. But listen, the ACC is as tough as it gets out there. It might as well be the NCAA tournament with as represented as they are in the top 25.
That's well said. We'll have more about the ACC at halftime of this game. Great to have you with us here on ACC Network Extra. Sentnor has been dynamic pretty much her entire career, but she has been great to start this game for North Carolina.
#1 overall recruit a few years ago, but doesn't get on the field because she tears her ACL, and then last year gets on the field and you know, I feel like almost got forgotten about because of that freshman year where you lose, you don't get to play, but it wasn't long before everybody knew who she was last season.
Yeah, coming off a 10-goal, 2-assist campaign.
And she's a player that when we talked with Anson and about her move from attack into the midfield, he truly believes that if she puts in the work, she's going to be a player on the U.S. national team here in the future.
Well, she was a star for the U20s, qualifying for the 2024 World Cup, where she led the team in goals with 4, tied with fellow Tar Heel teammate that we hope to see today, Maddie Darlene.
Yeah, there were 4 Tar Heels on that team, which, again, talking with Anson about that experience for those players, he said that gives them an upper hand. You're ready for the season and not having to get conditioning going.
Avery Patterson, after they went 90 and a delay in Penn State with no score, 3 minutes in on the board, but then Carly Lima, a great run, getting by the super talented freshman Savvy King and then beating Emmy Allen to tie it 11 minutes later.
You know, in the flow of the game, I feel like Carolina has had the advantage. They've had possession, they've had more shots, more looks, but their goal came off of a corner. The only goal in the flow of the game came off of Cal on a counterattack.
This player right here, Lima. Her pass squared back to Vranish, the freshman, making her not only her first start of her career, her first appearance. Did not get in against Tennessee. Delia Perugia, that's great 1v1 defending, not allowing a cross. Would have been better if she avoided the corner, but it'd be a corner kick, Cal.
Good job by Gray to stick with that one, keep on working against really tough defense.
We do expect to see Talia's younger sister, Tori, at some point. Tori had 4 goals and 1 assist last year. Talia, 4 goals and 3 assists. Corner kick coming from the Golden Bears. Coco Thistle, sophomore, transfer from Colorado. With that right foot, bending the ball around. Get it out of there perfectly by Colton. King out of bounds and throw in back to Cal.
Looks like Carolina getting ready to bring their first subs in, a couple of them over at the table.
It's interesting, Anson makes no apologies for the fact that he likes to play 20 players, and he talks about the fact, you know what, you recruit that many, and if they're good enough, they can play. And he said he knows that a lot of teams probably counter that in the recruiting effort, saying, hey, you want to play 90. He did point out during that run, remember, no Meza, no Bell down the run. There were 7 players that played 90 minutes in the College Cup. So he said when they can and when they need to, they can go 90. And then he also said, hey, look at the fact that we got 60-plus players that have made it on to national team caps. They play 90, so we get them ready here at North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how you want to look at it, how you want to spin it. If you can go to a player and say, hey, you can play a full 90, but is that going to be from day one as a freshman, or do they have to sit and learn? And the counter to that would be, we're going to play right away. You're going to get some minutes. You're going to start developing.
He's got his eye on Savvy King. That time she was not going to let Lima get to the ball first.
And I like his response to the substitutions. He's not breaking any rules. If they change the rules, I'll go ahead and change the way we coach. But as long as I'm allowed to sub the way that I do, I'm going to take advantage of it and do so.
Having said all that, even in this heat, he waited a little bit longer than he normally does. Good spin off there. Coming once again from Lima. She's good. That time it was Macy Bell's shoulder that she spun off and was in.
She's got size and speed as well, so knows how to use her body for leverage, but then a little burst to be able to get in behind the defenders.
Carolina, this time building it out of the back. It's 5 different players who have touched the ball here. Elgin, back to King. 2023 is North Carolina's 45th season as a program, all under the legend that is Anson Dorrance. He's been here 47 years, coached a couple years with the men's team where he also played. North Carolina running downhill, that shot a little bit high. And it'll come back to Cal. Here we go.
Hockey time.
Hockey time, yeah. 5 subs for North Carolina. And they've got one job, and that is in these final 15 and change, just run all day.
Go. Just go. I mean, if you're going to sub this way, your whole mentality is you've had those defenders out there running for roughly 30 minutes. You've got fresh legs in. You should have the advantage. Try and start tiring them out, too, for that second half.
King and Bell stay on the back line.
The other thing it does, Dean, is the mental part of the game. Because you are constantly under pressure if you're the opposing team from North Carolina, eventually you're going to have a mental lapse and make a mistake.
Well said. Tessa Della Rose goes in the back line for Elgin, along with King and Bell. Carolina 42-2 all-time in home openers, having not lost one since a 1-0 defeat to Stanford in 2014. Get it out wide right. Knocked out of bounds, throw in back to North Carolina. Tar Heels scored in the 3rd minute. Cal answers in minute 14. We're tied at 1s. Now coming over for North Carolina with Elgin out is Tessa Della Rose. Tessa Della Rose, a sophomore out of Pennsylvania, Brownsville High School. Corner kick, North Carolina. Looking again for Bell. Bell gets her head on it. Well done, got it down as well. Then she looks up to the sky. That's what you want to do, though. Knock it down, and just missing the target.
This was a good ball from this corner. Bell is a big player. She's got the jumps. Let her go get it and settle underneath. I think maybe start her position a little bit closer to the kick so that when you get that ball down, it's not going to go wide. It's going to be on frame.
Come all the way back to Emmy Allen. Finds Meza.
You see how careful Cal is being. They're not putting any of that pressure on this back line for Carolina as they advance through the midfield. Cal doesn't want to get caught with too many numbers forward and have that attack get in behind them.
Bell. Mia Oliaro is into the game. Ansa Dorrance talked about how good she's been in practice. Did not play in that Penn State game. And here's the turn from Oliaro.
Thought Boone should have let that ball go. Would have been a goal kick. Instead, Carolina able to keep possession.
Cal also making some changes in that last line shift. Includes King coming in at that right back spot. There is the other King.
That was a really good job there of using the frame, getting that lower body in front of the attacker there, in front of the ball, so Lima couldn't get behind her and get free.
Read again by Savvy King. I'm not going to lie, I'm still in a little bit of shock at the fact that she was not able to track down number 12, Lima. But Lima is a first-class striker, had the right angle, and that's why we're tied. Since then, though, Savvy King has been back to being Savvy King. Good pressure, good hustle. Oh, and unlucky as it goes off of number 22, Oliaro. Chapel Hill, North Carolina, right here at Chapel Hill High School. Oliaro. It was one of those things where we were wrapping up this call. We got a Cal sub coming in, as you see Alexis Wright, and he's like, well, hang on, there's a couple players that have really been earning it in practice, and they have that competitive cauldron where they track everything. Anson it was fascinating to break it down. If you want to get on the field, you got to be in the top 16 as they track every single practice event. I mean, they track every one, and if you top 16 to get on the field, top 10 to start, top 3 you'll play for a national team, is the way he breaks it down. Fascinating.
And you really can't argue with it. It's a formula that clearly works and has worked for the last 3+ decades.
Under 10 minutes remaining. Tied at 1. Great fans of the Tar Heels sitting straight in the sun to watch this fantastic program. And their home opener in 2023. Anson downplaying the 23 and 23 in typical Anson form. Of course, also the tie-in to the great 23, Michael Jordan didn't hurt that slogan.
It's got a nice ring to it. I like when we asked him about it, though, how he tried to play it off like, oh, I didn't even know that was going on.
Yeah.
Pressure from Carolina making it really tough right now. Way doesn't have anywhere to go with the ball.
Good work by the Tar Heels to win it. Rebimbas was really good against Penn State as she got a little clip from behind, and that'll be whistled against North Carolina. Rebimbas had 3 shots in the first half and more in the second half coming off the bench in the Penn State 0-0 tie. There's Rebimbas, another one of these freshmen, part of the #1 recruiting class that you mentioned, Kyle Straub, Warren, New Jersey, Rutgers Prep School, one that got away from Michael Neal.
It wasn't too long ago, 3-4 years ago, where Carolina was losing out on a lot of those top recruits that they would go after. Actually, Anton told us a really funny story. The way that they ended up getting lots of Wubin Moy, Alessia Russo, and eventually Lucy Brahms, who were all on the English national team, was because they didn't get the recruits that they were going for here in the States. Just happened to get a phone call at the right time and trusted the person that told them about these girls, and sight unseen gave them a scholarship offer, and it obviously all worked out for them. But it was funny when he said the first time they saw them, Damon Nahas went across the country to go see them play for the U20 English team and got a phone call from him, said, Anson, I don't think these girls are going to find the field for our team. He said it's the one sleepless night he's ever had, and then the next day it was corrected.
There's a shot from distance.
A little tricky there.
Yeah.
But it was corrected the very next day when Damon calls him and said, all right, Anson, we're okay. I had the wrong number. I was watching the wrong girl. I saw them play today. We're going to be just fine. They'll start from day 1.
I don't think Anson's had too many sleepless nights either, so glad he called back. Della Rose, who just had that shot from distance. It's a good little extra effort play, but one back anyway. Look at Meza, picked perfectly. Meza probably does not get enough credit for her defensive prowess. She is not afraid to come in hard on the tackle. Meza that was making the run to try to get it back.
A trio of 3 Carolina jerseys there in the box and just couldn't connect with any of them.
Great work there from Alexis Wright, who has come in with some speed, and there's Savvy King with a sliding tackle.
There's that closing speed, the recovery speed that you talked about with King. Wright was behind her, but just 3 or 4 steps, and she made up that distance. And a great tackle, too, keeping composure and control of the body.
She saved the tie, a member of the U20 U.S. Women's National Team. I mean, it was a straight breakaway for Penn State inside the 18, and she closed it down with a 30-yard run and the perfect tackle, hip to hip, and then came up with that fist pump that I mentioned early. There's 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. 11 shots for North Carolina, just 1 for Cal. They made the most of it.
An opportunity here with this throw-in. Put some pressure on Carolina, maybe sneak another one in and have a lead going into that locker room.
Here comes the throw in. The best to come out of North Carolina with the throw in is J-Mac Jessica McDonald. Actually was part of that 2019 U.S. Women's World Cup team and had a big throw in the 2019 World Cup that led to a goal for the USA in the one game that she got in. Della Rose cleans it up. December, start against Penn State. This is a really well-weighted ball, squared back, a little bit behind, open, score! North Carolina has a 2-1 lead. The subs bringing energy, the subs giving North Carolina the lead.
We talked about it when they came in. Those subs come in at about the 15-minute mark. Their job is to stay with the gas pedal down. The pressure forces a turnover in midfield, and the numbers that go forward. I mean, it starts on that ball. Great vision. Instead of playing it wide, to play it behind the defender. First touch isn't there. You got another player on the backside of it to clean it up, though.
Celebration coming for North Carolina. Melina Rebimbas has done it. We talked about how active she was. First goal of the season, the freshman from Warren, New Jersey. Just mentioned how many shots she had against Penn State. She finishes that one, but it was more than Rebimbas. I mean, it was clean pass after clean pass after clean pass, and now it's 2-1.
That's if you could put it in the score sheet that way, that's a team goal. Yes, you're going to give it to Rebimbas. It was off her foot, but there were 4 or 5 players that were involved to get that one to the back of the net.
So the Tar Heels now with a little over 4 minutes remaining have the lead again, which changes the dynamic tenfold at halftime. And how about the fact that Cal started subbing in earlier? We're like, wait, where's the line shift? They do the line shift with 15 minutes. And these players are super fresh in this heat, and they are showing it. Meza started the game, has not come out, rarely does. Here's playback to Della Rose in for Elgin.
That hydration break bought the starters for Carolina another 5 minutes out on the field.
Spot on, Kyle. Excellent point. North Carolina dancing with it again and just missing. Top of the 18. Excellent footwork for North Carolina. Emily Moxley with the shot.
She's had a couple of good looks here in this first half. I like that Carolina's not afraid to take these shots from distance outside of the 18. If you're going to put 4 or 5 in the box, don't get into that traffic. Go ahead and take one where you've got a little separation.
I really like that shot from Moxley. Trying to find the upper 90. Whistle there, but pretty good defense by the sophomore Tessa Della Rose. Tori Della Peruta is up as the 9 right now for North Carolina. Bella Sember. And of course, the player that would have what would be the game-winning goal if it ended, Melina Rebimbas. Up there in that front 3. Allen's got a beat on it. It's loose, spilled out, and there's contact there, so the whistle will come.
I thought the whistle was a little delayed. Should have gone right away. Good read by Allen to come out and grab that one while in flight. Carolina defense has done a good job in these set pieces. A couple of corners throw-in that we had a few minutes down, and then that free kick. Cal has not really challenged him on any of those set pieces here in this first half.
See the number 13 shots for North Carolina, 4 on frame, 1 shot for Cal, and that 1 shot from Lima found the back of the net.
And there's been 2 or 3 for Carolina that aren't on frame, but they're not off by much, though.
Meza, despite missing the back end of the season and all of the NCAA tournament run, as you mentioned, 16 seconds away from winning number 23 a year ago against UCLA. I told you they said maybe not 100% fit. I think she's 100% fit. I mean, she played almost the entire game against Penn State, and she's not come out of this one. Bell also not there. In fact, Anson Dorrance's best quote is, if you'd have told me that we would have made it to 16 seconds when beating UCLA without this player here, Meza, and without Macy Bell, I'd have taken that.
We showed the graphic in the beginning of this. 2 preseason All-ACC players, Meza on the Herman Trophy watch list. Those are huge pieces to not have and be that close to winning the national championship. And I remember him telling us, you know, we've got a really deep team. I think he said it was the deepest team he had ever had, except for one position. And it was a position that kept getting hurt in that center back there.
Oh, yeah. Bell in the first game, here the very next game. Tori Hansen made the most of it. Oh,
she really stepped up
status, yeah. Final seconds counting down. Boy, really good hand there by Wyatt to carry it away. And it's 2-1 North Carolina at the half.
Carolina got on the board early. Cal had a nice answer. I think the score tells you what this first half was. Carolina had the better of it, but Cal is hanging around though.
Just gives you an idea of how good women's college soccer is. Anybody can hang with anybody, including the dynastic Tar Heels. An early goal in minute 3 for North Carolina, answered back by Lima, but then late North Carolina takes the lead 2-1 over Cal.
Please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away.
Cynthia Suarez needed to buy new laptops for her growing team, so she used her American Express business card, which lets her earn extra membership rewards points on purchases for her business. Now she's the office MVP. Built for Cynthia's business. Built for your business, Amex Business.
It was our first time in Kyoto.
Oh yeah, it was a whole new thing for us. We stayed in the room in Takashi's home.
We told Takashi that we wanted to go to a nice sushi restaurant. He was like, I can teach you.
I think that's where the sushi party started. It was so funny. You got pretty good at it.
Yeah, I think I'm quite talented.
Sure feels good when you get it right. And with the #1 power toothbrush brand recommended by dental professionals, Philips Sonicare makes it easy for you to always get brushing right.
Okay, hi. So what is the occasion, Fancy Pants? Ah, that fancy DQ caramel fudge cheesecake blizzard is the occasion. Ooh, looks so indulgent. You know, this was a really great idea.
Glad I thought of this.
I thought of it.
Yeah, maybe go ahead, let her have this one, buddy.
Yeah.
DQ, happy tastes good.
Tonight, there have been impossible murders, as if the living have been killed by ghosts.
You're doing that thing where you pretend to know more than everyone else.
I speak for the dead.
My daughter was my whole life.
I saw demons.
Don't look at me. We're old friends.
Every murderer is somebody's old friend. The killer is one of you.
A Haunting in Venice, rated PG-13, only in theaters September 15th.
ACC Halftime Report. That's Morgan Bowen. I'm Marion Crowder. And Morgan, the 2023 college soccer season is finally upon us. But we can't start this season without talking about the 2022 runner-up North Carolina Tar Heels coming in preseason ranked #1, rightfully so by all accounts. They have massive returners and hardly any question marks on this roster. But how do they elevate their game when they're already sitting at the #1 spot?
Year over year, we have the same conversation about North Carolina. Fantastic season last year. What expectations do they have coming in? The expectation and how they level up, it's a national championship. That is what they want to do every single year. Anson is clear on it. This team is clear on it. But what's exciting for them is just the players, not just that they're going to bring in, they always have a great recruiting class, but it's who has more experience and who's back. So Allie Sentner had a fantastic campaign last year in her first year with the Heels. I'm also looking at Sam Meza. She's healthy, just how she bolsters that midfield, but the biggest name, Macy Bell's healthy. She started last year in her senior season, got injured, so now she's back as a redshirt senior. The big game experience that she adds for them, not just her talent and what she brings to the team, she's going to be really fun to watch, and I'm excited to see how she elevates them, and can she maybe be that difference that they needed a little bit of support with? Because you got to remember, they went through a ton of defenders last year and the injuries that they had, so she's going to be huge to have back.
Yeah, when you think about big returners, you also think about sides that have had some big losses. And I think Brian Pinsky at FSU, and don't get me wrong, he's got some massive pieces returning as well. But I think the question mark surrounding the Noles is who's going to provide that big game experience for them.
And that's what they lost. They always have the talent, but with losing Clara Robbins, Jenna Nijwanger, that's just experience in years that you're not going to be able to always replicate. But I see this really as Brian Penske's first year with the Noles. Last year, coming in late in the spring, he was really kind of thrown in, did a fantastic job with his program. Don't get me wrong, but I'm so excited to see what we see this year from them. They return a spine of such veteran, experienced players as well. Christina Roque and Nat split some time last year. She was their #1 towards the end of the season. Then you look at Lauren Flynn at center back, so solid back there. They can just build their back line around her. Leilani Nesbitt is who I am watching this year. She slid into a really important role once they lost Howell. So last year, stepping into that defensive midfield role. Will we still see her this year? I don't know. Penske could obviously do something completely different, but that's where my eyes are going. And then you just look at their front line between Etchegini, Jody Brown, Beata Olson, and adding in a conference transfer, Leah Pace from Pitt. That's going to be so fun to watch up top.
Hey, you talk about Leah Pace from Pitt. Pitt coming into this ranked preseason #7, and a team where the question mark for them is the experienced attackers, big game moments in the final third. Do you think, Morgan, that this is a top 5 side potentially at the end of the year?
I think it's if they can handle that pressure a little bit externally. I think internally they're fine. They're blue collar. They know who they are. They know their identity. But they created that experience later in the season. They wanted to make the NCAA tournament. That was their goal. They went so far and so much more beyond what they expected originally. So how can they do that once again? You have the experience out wide with Mertz and Shapansky. They were so big for this team last year, Samaya Theory, but they get Chloe Minas back in the midfield. She is going to be huge for them just with how she is a presence on their team. But the biggest name you have to mention is Amanda West. She is back. She is healthy, had a fantastic career at Pitt, and you know she wants to take them far once again.
Yeah, depth matchups. That's the name of the game. We got a lot of good ones coming your way down the stretch, but don't go anywhere. We've got halftime highlights and stats coming your way next.
When travel is this inspiring, you're with Amex.
Please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away.
I think I was like 10 maybe. Our team came in second. I wouldn't accept the second place trophy. I didn't want second place. I didn't want it. I was in tears, crying. My coach told me, you won't have success if you can't handle failure. That's big, not just for hitting, for anything in life.
Become an auntie. Book a flight. Stay 4 nights. Meet the baby. Make the baby cry. Give the baby back. Fly home. Silver tier in a single trip. Join One Key and move up tiers fast.
Look at us, all together again. We just wanted to give you guys a real honeymoon.
I just found this crawling under our table.
He's crawling?
It's your first time!
That's why you're not!
Dad! He was just released from San Quentin.
Where can I get a drink around here? Ever since he showed up, he turned this relaxing vacation into total chaos. You can do this. I can do this. Oh, did I throw up a lot? Your butthole threw up, bud.
Vacation Friends 2, rated R, streaming only on Hulu.
As summer rolls on, football rolls in. And ACC Network is hitting the road. ACC Football Road Trip, weekdays at 7 Eastern through August 24th on ACCN.
Right here, right now.
It's the home opener for the perennial power that is the North Carolina Tar Heels, and the number 2 team in the country, leading the Cal Golden Bears here at the half by a score of 2-1. Welcome back. Alongside Kyle, I'm Dean, and nice bounce back from Cal to equalize, but in North Carolina, with their subs, the difference to take the lead.
Well, you said it, the powerhouse that is North Carolina, number 2 in the country, runners-up last year, returning so many players. You expected them to go out and be aggressive and get a couple of goals. But I love the recovery that Cal had. 3 minutes in, you give up a goal, and then you're able to equalize it, and it wasn't until late in that first half before Carolina got back on top.
All right, let's not just talk about it. Let's go to work and show you the 3 goals. Go to work, Kyle.
Less than 3 minutes in. I mean, they really wasted no time. Beautiful ball, little flick from Bell, and then Patterson, last year's leading goal scorer, gets the first one this year for Carolina. And the interesting thing is, look at the numbers, look at the back post. Even if Patterson doesn't score this, somebody for Carolina was going to put it away. Then the counterattack, and this is where Cal was dangerous. A couple of times we saw them be able to get in behind Carolina. King here able to get that goal Savvy King gets beat and gives up the goal. But then when we had that change, that line change, the hockey change, we talked about it, the pressure that Carolina's going to continue to put on. Numbers in the box, just like the first goal. First touch doesn't quite get what they want, but there's the freshman waiting in the wings as Rebimbas gets her first career goal.
Yarrow with the great squared ball, and once again a dominant shooting performance for North Carolina. Just need more on frame.
Yeah, the 13 shots, I mean, there's probably as many that have been on frame that are within 2 feet of being on frame for Carolina. And then a couple of touches from the freshman Thomas up top, who if the touch is just a little bit softer, you've got even more opportunities. So for Carolina, I think it's just cleaning up that final touch, that final 18, but continuing to play the way they did in that first half with the pressure.
Hard to find a better time for women's soccer, including worldwide. When we return, we'll talk about Tar Heels for Team England on the flip side.
One day you might realize you don't have to do things the way you've always done them.
Nope.
And that's when you know you're a member. Because when you're with Amex, it's never a question of if you're going to level up. It's when.
Right here, right now.
This just in, got the keys to what you want and what you need. Something new, something sleek, moving to a different beat. Okay, now, can I get a, come on, drum roll? Can I get a drum roll, drum roll? Can I get a drum roll, please? That's nice, yeah. Yeah, can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum? That's nice.
Become an auntie. Book a flight. Stay 4 nights. Meet the baby. Make the baby cry. Give the baby back. Fly home. Silver tier in a single trip. Join one key and move up tiers fast.
Hey, look good.
Got the rings?
Yeah.
Hello?
You guys don't look half bad.
Yeah, thank you for that rousing compliment.
Thanks, man.
There's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel infinitely you.
Are you a new AT&T customer looking to upgrade your phone? You're trapped, locked into your contract for 3 years. Introducing the Easy Unlock. Bring your AT&T locked phone and T-Mobile will pay it off and give you one of the latest 5G smartphones free.
Free your phone now at T-Mobile.
We're bringing big back. It's bigger, cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. Y'all hungry? Better be hungry.
The future is threatened by enemies often unseen.
They alert, Marine.
And unexpected. In the midst of an uncertain and evolving world, the need for Marines to defeat these shifting threats is critical, because the need to ensure stability for our nation has never been greater. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
The day of that accident, there was nothing I could do. You go into slow motion. The people had ran the stop sign, ran into my driver's side door. When I called the mail law offices, I didn't have to spend a single penny. They just wanted to make sure that I was taken care of, so I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. The mail law offices stay with me every step of the way.
Call the mail offices. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
Just give them a call and don't try to do it yourself. Get in touch with the mail law offices.
A 2-1 in their home opener. North Carolina, famously known for their production, leading players of the U.S. national team, but they had 4 former Tar Heels representing the England national team in today's World Cup final. It's Spain winning at 1-0. Serena Vegman, former Tar Heel, is the head coach. Russo, the 9, bronze on the outside back. Latin Wooten Boy, also a key part, but England comes up just short. Spain winning at 1-0.
You gotta feel good if you're England, though, thinking about the future, because those 3, all very young, and Russo actually led the team in goals scored for their World Cup this year, so they've got a bright future.
Yeah, and the U.S. already talking about, could they get Vegman? Anson led the U.S. to the first World Cup title, one of the 4 in 1991 over in China. 921 wins, 22 national championships, just incredible. He is in the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame, he is in the United Soccer Coaches Hall of Fame, and he's also an honor award winner for the United Soccer Coaches. They hang trophies like books on a bookshelf here at North Carolina.
Yeah, it was funny when I asked him. I said, normally it's the U.S. national team and you've got a slew of players, so you can double root for them. But with it being England, not your home country, does it still kind of have that feel, though? You've got 4 different Tar Heels that are representing, and he said, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
He said that in practice they've been screaming, the British are coming, which is what they used to do when Russo and Latin Wooten Moy were just tearing it up in practice, but now they were saying it all along as they were cheering England on. Spain, what a story. I mean, they were even missing some key players as they had a little bit of...
Yeah, some of their best players didn't make it.
Yeah, still got it done. Second half underway. Carolina back out there in the familiar Carolina Blues. Cal from the Pac-12, perhaps looking for a new home in their whites. Couple touches, a back heel. Remember, all subs didn't appear for 15 minutes remaining, so we'll see if there's someone. Oh, there it is! We knew the first goal was coming. Olivia Thomas is going to be a force for North Carolina, and Olivia Thomas has made it Tar Heels 3, the Golden Bears 1.
All started with that little heel flip about 20 yards out. It allowed Patterson to continue her momentum, found Sentnor, and then Sentnor doing things that she does that not many can, with a perfectly placed ball right to the foot of the freshman Thomas, making a great run. Threading the needle right there, and excuse me, wasn't Patterson, that was Moxley.
Listed at 5'10", Olivia Thomas, speed, power, size, and was looking for that first finish. We pretty much said it was coming, and she'll take care of that early doors here to start the second half and make it 3-1 North Carolina. Here's another shot from distance. Great save from Tegan Y.
That one was screaming upper 90 from Emily Colton. Just like the first half, Carolina coming out on fire here to start this second half off. Wade just got a piece of that one.
I'll tell you what, Tegan Y, there's a reason we started the show with her. That was a big time effort right there. I mean, not only was she sprawling to her left, but she was gaining in altitude as she did it. This one all the way across, leaned off defensively.
Can't clear though, Carolina's gonna keep this pressure on.
Sentnor with the pass wide. Somehow they'll probably find Sentnor again. Meza puts on the brakes. I mentioned you just cannot get the ball away from her. Della Rose, who came on for Elgin, stays in there. North Carolina into the 18 again. Little heavy touch, kind of leaks too far and then leads to a foul to come back to the Golden Bears.
There are not going to be many times where you get away with leaving Allie Sentnor alone in the box like they just did right there, and Carolina not get a good shot off.
Let's see some of the news on Sentnor. She's just flat out good for the USA Youth Program and the Tar Heels. This, as you mentioned, overcoming injuries. You know, it was interesting, the North Carolina-Penn State game, Erica Dombach, one of the coaches that will be considered, I think, for the U.S. job as well, talked about the fact that there's two things to focus on right now, and that is the amazing emergence of the women's game worldwide, right? The U.S. with those 4 World Cups knocked out early, but you saw 3 African teams advance, and she just loves it. And a lot of those players actually came from colleges, so Anson loves that part. And then the other thing that they focus on is the fact that they hope with this emergence of the women's game at such a high level, people investing in it, that they'll use some of that money to do some research on the amount of injuries in the women's game, because it has been a problem, including on this North Carolina team.
Nice ball, just gets through there.
Meza. Good turn for North Carolina. When they turn, they run downhill. Try to cause problems.
It's really interesting when you talk to Anson about kind of where he's at in his career, because he's so much at this point now focused, I don't know necessarily chasing titles, but chasing individual greatness for his players. He wants to develop the game. He wants to help it grow. And I mean, he's done so much to already do that, but that's where his focus seems to be at this stage of his career.
He does point out that a reason he can focus on that is the heavy lifting that Damon Nahas, Nathan Thackeray, and Alex Kimball have taken on as well. Flag is up.
As a head coach, you're only as good as your assistants, right? You have to have that support group around you. Speed of Thomas tried to stay onside.
Ooh, that was
looked pretty close to me.
Yeah. It was offside by the center back, but it looked like one of the outside backs had.
I thought that too at the top of the screen.
Yeah. Look from our outstanding crew. Matt Krause producing, Nick Forbes directing. We'll get you the rest of the crew in this one here on a hot and muggy Saturday. Especially mad props to the folks that are outside, the cameramen and women They do such a great job bringing you everything you're seeing right here on ACC Network Extra. Knocked out of bounds, will be a throw-in for North Carolina. A little bit off target. Kyle, I felt like you nailed it in using that hydration break, giving the starters a little extra time, and then giving the subs a little shorter run. And because of that, that 2-1 lead completely turned this game back on its head in favor of North Carolina.
It did. When Cal got that goal to equalize, it almost felt like the air was taken out of the sail for Carolina, and you were almost at an even match while those starters were still in. By the time the subs came in, because they only had 15 minutes, really could go full bore, and you saw it wear down on that Cal defense and eventually able to break through. And then the goal here to start the third.
Thomas looking for the second. Sorry, Kyle, as Tegan Y has to stop Thomas. She is ready to shoot and shoot from anywhere, and she can do it. I mean, obviously her left foot is good, but she can also do it with her head and her right foot, and then just that flat out blazing speed.
I love the willingness to just let it rip. Sometimes, especially for a young player, they'll look for the pass, not wanting to be too selfish, not wanting to do it all themselves. Just have the confidence. Go out there and let it go. But the water breaks, I expect him to take advantage of. We'll see another one in this half, and you also have a different subbing routine, but I expect him to take advantage of it.
Oh, what a turn from Thomas. That's what I'm talking about. She can turn either way, knowing that she can hit it with her left or right. What a great turn.
How many freshmen come in with that ability? It's not something you see from upperclassmen, let alone a true freshman.
You know, on the scouting report in this game, normally you're saying lean it right or lean it left, but you saw right there, you cannot do that against number 20, Olivia Thomas, the 5'10 freshman out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan.
Now, the nice thing for Thomas is being on a team that's so loaded offensively like Carolina, they're not going to be able to really key in on you alone because there's too many weapons. You do that and you focus just on Thomas, Patterson, Meza, you name them, are going to end up hurting you.
I am now feeling like we are witnessing that out-and-out will of North Carolina, where even when they lose the ball, they're getting it back. And then just human nature, you can see maybe a couple sunken shoulders for Cal as North Carolina back in the 18 again. Sentnor, look at her keep possession, drop it back. North Carolina still in there, and it'll be a corner kick Tar Heels. Sentnor, unreal.
To have all that traffic, not panic, realize the smart play is to dribble out and reset for somebody else to take the shot. One of the reasons that she's such a special player, this is a great run just to get that ball into the 18 as well. Little Chris Berman there.
Corner kick, North Carolina. Macy Bell still, and they'll call the whistle on Macy Bell. Macy Bell wants to know what's going on. Macy Bell, not only a big-time player, she's got a massive following on social media.
Well, in today's NIL world, it's a way to go ahead and cash in on yourself. Take a look at this. I think the ball is what hit the defender there, McMahon, the freshman. I think the referee coming from behind thought maybe there was a push, but it looked like it was just the ball.
Yeah, and Macy Bell, I like her reaction here. She's basically saying, look, I'm going straight up. I'm in my area, and she was on that one, and I think as we look at this one, we may see it as well, unless an arm came down that we didn't see. But definitely on the corner kick, I did not see a foul on Macy Bell.
I did not see a foul in the corner as well. Let's see what we can check out on this one.
Okay, so yeah, maybe that left arm somehow swung.
It impeded the Cal player from being able to go up with Bell. I like that the referee, having two whistles in a row, didn't jump to pulling a card. It was a foul, but nothing more.
So Cal off that whistle. Now Macy Bell. with the pressure.
I think Lima, sensing that it's been tough for Cal to get the ball this deep in Carolina territory, really trying to get that one away from Bell there.
Tori Della Pruto will replace Thomas. She does her job, gets her first career goal. I knew it was just moments from getting there. And also coming into the game for North Carolina is Kate Fossey. So Fossey still wearing that wrap around her left leg.
And this is where you'll see shorter stints for the subs. You're not going to have the long 30 minutes and then 15. You're going to get more 10, 15-minute spurts back and forth.
Fossey, 2 goals and 2 assists last year. This is still with no Darlene. Meza.
Good help to come over.
Meza slow to get up. Macy Bell, little give and go. A wonderful start to the second half for North Carolina, who have been really good here. It used to be called Fetzer Field, now called Dorrance Field, naming it after, as I said earlier, in my opinion, the most successful coach, any sport, any gender, Anson Dorrance. You see their record since it became Dorrance Field, pretty good. 37-4-3, 16-4-3 in the last 2 seasons. Carolina does not play an easy schedule. Sorry, Kyle.
You got a Hall of Fame. Oh, no, this is so nice right there.
What a rip right there. Drop back over. Just a little bit short was Colton, but her effort is always there to win it back as it'll find Moxley. Now back again. Squared back over. Good hustle for the Tar Heels. That was Fossey again.
Finally able to clear this one. What I was going to say is when you have a legend and a Hall of Famer like Dean Smith, who was the head coach of the basketball program here, and that's what Carolina is known for. And he, when he was alive, said, no. This is a women's soccer team school, not a men's basketball school.
Yeah, that never gets old, and he meant it.
That was in the middle of, it wasn't that Carolina was just in the NCAA tournament every year. They won the national championship every year, and if they didn't, something went wrong.
Yeah. Carla Worden never lost a game in her 4 years in North Carolina. Now Carla over back on a whistle.
Really good opportunity here for Carolina to add to this lead. Patterson had the step. A little bit of fatigue, I think, setting in for some of these Cal defenders. That was the freshman there, McMahon. She's going to end up getting a card. Second yellow we've seen against Cal today.
So McMahon, as we told you earlier, a teammate, in fact, a center back teammate with Savvy King on that Slammers team that beat the Michigan Hawks in the ECNL National Championship game not that long ago. Just this summer down in San Diego. It's the yellow card. Free kick opportunity for North Carolina. And the flag is up, offside called against the Tar Heels.
Like Bell just got a little bit quick of a start. Getting off that line, trying to get behind some of the defenders. And there you go. See, just that step just a little bit too early.
At 34 feet 5 inches, or 34.5 actually, I mean the best vertical in the history of all North Carolina players. They test everything, right? Everything to do with fitness, the beep test, the 40-yard, where I believe Olivia Thomas set a new record.
Yeah, fastest ever.
Yeah. Bell sets a new record on the vertical. Cal trying to make something happen here. Borchers, and it's knocked out of bounds again.
Carolina posted a video when she broke that record, and my favorite part of it is looking at all of her teammates that are standing around watching it, because it was literally a jaw-dropping moment. They just stood there, mouths agape, saying, how fast did she just do that?
Gray in for Borchers for Cal.
Trying to get some fresh legs out there to give a little push here. If you're Cal, if you can get a goal in the next 10, 15 minutes, really going to put Carolina some pressure on them instead of it being a game right now where you can play pretty free and loose if you're UNC.
Looking on is Coach Neil McGuire by way of Scotland. He actually said his wife is giving him a hard time now because he is so settled in. First thing that happened is he considered himself a Southern boy as he started out in Georgia when he came over from Scotland, and then he's been 17 years at Cal, and his wife hates the fact that his Scottish accent is pretty much gone. 17 years at Cal, including Alex Morgan's first year, and he was very good about that. He's like, look, there's a lot of people that deserve credit for Alex Morgan and the great player that she continues to be. I'm just glad to have played a role in it during her time at Cal. Really modest answer. Bolton sends it back across. Tori Della Peruta. Well, she's got some quickness as well. Ran into the Cal defender, but I love the spin with the ball. Lima's big time, by the way. Not just because she scored the goal, but because of that ability to check back, hold it. Meza. Meza does not get enough credit for her defense because of Meza. North Carolina looking for number 4, and just missing there is Colton.
Just missed a little wide on the shot, and coming from the backside, Sentnor was just a little bit late to try and connect on that one. But again, it's off of a turnover. Carolina's not allowing Cal to clear this ball out, so they're not able to stay in formation. Carolina gets an opportunity off of it.
Great high-end camera look as Rebimbas, who got her first career goal to make it 2-1, heading in to the first half among several players coming in now. As you already mentioned, they can do multiple waves of those subs here.
Yeah, so we saw Thomas come out after 10 minutes, now 15 in. The rest of those subs come into the game. I would anticipate they're probably going to be out there until about that 15-minute mark, and then you bring in all those starters again who are now rested, recovered, and can go full bore all over.
Hearing the wisdom of Kyle Straub, I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be along for the ride. Great to have Matt Krause in our ear as that producer. The AD is Quan Dura, Nick Forbes directing. The E-Dog, Evan Badler on TD, Thomas Mahler, Dylan Rolling Stone Field on the bug, Paul Beam, AJ Schlemmer, and then Mark Dry, Andrew Smith, Ethan Ferrara, Brian Ware, Hunter Caparelli out here in the heat, bringing you all of these great looks. Also want to thank Jeff Anderson, Caleb Furrow, and Connor Buchanan. There's a shot right at Wild.
It's a good look with numbers forward. If that ball isn't controlled and there's a rebound. But why preseason all Pac-12 for a reason?
Meza. I mean, if you isoled Meza, it would be, as much as we want to talk about how can she can dribble people and eliminate players, make them look like cones, her ability to check back, get touches, and then also defensively, you know, we just saw that look from behind the goal. That was Meza who caused that turnover.
I think the combination of her and Sentnor in that midfield, both of them being able to check back, help out defensively, and then facilitate and even finish themselves. Not very often you have a dynamic duo like that in the midfield.
Came in third team All-ACC, next year second team All-ACC, last year just by missing the ACC tournament into the NCAA's first team All-ACC. Rebimbas, she's going to be good too, Kyle. She was calling for the ball.
Let's go ahead and put that one on repeat. And everybody you mentioned for Carolina, you can play it.
Gray. Here's the tenacious 1v1 defending of Savvy King. She was beaten in the first half. she went ahead and logged it, but also, like you said, Kyle, and I thought it was solid, forgot about it, and ever since then, she has been everything we talked about coming in. She has won every 50-50 ball. I have seen her at times take on one defender and then slide over to the or take on one attacker and then slide over to the other attacker and rip it away.
You've got to have a lot going for you if you're a freshman and you're going to step in and start day one on this back line for Carolina. And the ability to forget is a big one. You can't go into the past and change it. So just learn from it and keep getting better as you go on in your career. And like you just mentioned, in this game, her kind of changing that angle she took on the first one. You just saw it right here. Not as shallow of an angle, but try and force that ball to the sideline.
McMahon, one bounce. No problem at all for North Carolina's Emmy Allen. We are anticipating a hydration break here in the 90-plus degree heat. North Carolina quickly the other way. Was looking for Della Peruta, the younger of the two. Moxley. Meza. And there's a reason she lost the ball. She was fouled.
You can get it away from her, just not cleanly, that's all. Just read the defender well, got her back to her, and all it took was just a little tap of the foot.
North Carolina continues to run downhill, and because of that, even when Cal steps up, there's enough momentum going forward that the second ball is won by the Tar Heels. Great little move, the shot not there. And we'll come back to the Cal Golden Bears.
I think if you're Coach McGuire, first thing you talk to your team after this game, regardless of how the rest of this goes for the final 24, remind them right away, hey, you're not going to run into a team that subs like this, because you can see some fatigue now really setting in for the Cal team.
That was Neil McGuire, who is assisted by Corey Callahan, the associate head coach. He's been there 22 seasons, even 5 more than Coach McGuire.
And if you look at the subs, they've actually had one more sub than Carolina. And this is not a knock against Cal, but the quality of sub is coming in for UNC. There's really no drop-off. Not many programs can say that.
No, in fact, those final 15 minutes, it felt like they were elevated, and I feel like it has changed the entire complexion of the game by them getting that second goal. Rebimbas, he's got one already. Rebimbas dancing with it, now squares it. Open player, good closeout by the freshman for Cal. That was McMahon.
Really nice footwork there from Rebimbas. Thought she could have let one go both times.
2 Cal Golden Bear players over there, but it'll be yet another corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina. Where are we at corner kicks?
This will be their 7th touchdown and the extra point. Here comes Thomas.
Thomas back in for Tori Della Peruta, who I thought had a solid shift. And her sister Talia Della Peruta back in for Kate Fawcett. Dame Nahas, associate head coach. Long-time youth coach in the area, as well as Sean Nahas, the head coach of the North Carolina Courage. How these players play from their academy and actually train with the North Carolina Courage.
Carolina continuing to target Macy Bell on these corner kicks, and rightfully so. They've gotten an opportunity off of almost every single one.
Now the 8th corner kick. The 8th corner kick coming as we are right around the time of the hydration break. But the 8th corner coming in first. Far post. Meza waiting on it. Tried to snap it back. Good idea. Hit it just a little bit too far. And that is going to be the hydration break. Meza outstanding. We knew coming in that the freshman Thomas was going to get one. She got one, and she makes it 3-1 over Cal.
One day you might realize you don't have to do things the way you've always done them. Nope. And that's when you know you're a member. Because when you're with Amex, it's never a question of if you're going to level up. It's when.
This just in, got the keys to what you want and what you need. Something new, something sleek, moving to a different beat. Okay now, can I get come on, drum roll? Can I get a drum roll, drum roll? Can I get a drum roll, please? That's nice, yeah. Yeah, can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum? That's nice.
This will be the first of many for number 20, Olivia Thomas for North Carolina.
She knocked on the door a bunch in the first half, but it took some really, really nifty team passing here from Carolina. Sentinel put it right on her foot as she made a perfect run, and really feels like with the way this second half has been going, that was the backbreaker for Cal, and it came just 2 minutes into this second half.
Perfectly weighted ball from Sentinel, and then a quality finish. Rebimbas with the second goal. Avery Patterson got North Carolina going early. Good answer from Lima, but then Rebimbas and Thomas have made it 3-1.
Carolina has just dominated, especially those first few minutes of each half, which has given them the upper hand. And then that Rebimbas goal, end of the first half, sending them into the locker room, made sure any momentum Cal had picked up with the Lima goal got wiped out.
He nailed it again, Kyle, on the Rebimbas goal. You called it a team goal, and it really was 4 or 5 crisp passes.
Yeah, and I've seen Carolina do that multiple times, and it's really worked to get through this Cal defense versus trying to play those balls over top and get in behind them.
So off the hydration break, Lima wins it at midfield. Macy Bell, stride for stride. A little push from behind. Bell does her job. Meza cleans it up. Also, you need to give a little credit to Oliaro, the freshman who's right here in Chapel Hill. She's done well, earning it in that competitive cauldron, earning the opportunity in practice to get out there, and she's delivered the goods.
That's the thing when you go to a school like Carolina where everybody is of the top quality, it's constantly a competition against the opponents, but also against your own teammates for playing time, so you can never take a minute off.
Doesn't hurt. Yes, her last name is Oliaro, but it doesn't hurt that her first name is Mia. That always works.
Rings a bell. Has somebody played here by that by that name?
Boy, North Carolina really feeling it in the second half. I mean, really feeling it.
I'm sure the coaching staff, Anson Dorrance and Nahas and the rest of them, happy with the way that this has gone offensively after not being able to break onto the scoreboard in that Penn State game in the season opener.
Here's the deal. Every time they lose it, they just win it back instantly. Thomas dribbles into trouble. Still staying with it. So strong.
Just relentless. Kerr had no choice but just to punt it out and give up and concede the corner there, because if not, Thomas was eventually going to win that ball and get a point-blank shot off.
I do feel like when she wins it back here, Oliaro's open. You see there right there? If she drops it and spins it off, something good's going to happen.
If the touch is a settle instead of the swinging leg trying to continue, she might have been able to see her, but back was to her by the point.
5 shots, 4 on frame. Was the only change they made inserting from the Penn State 0-0 game into the starting lineup was Thomas, and she has delivered one. Another corner kick for the Tar Heels, looking for Bell. A little flick right there. Flag was up anyway. Bell did her job.
It's Della Peruta that they got with the offside flag there.
The Tar Heels own a 9-1-0 all-time record over Cal, with the last meeting ending in a 1-1 tie back in 2015. A little bit behind Lima.
It's disjointed there. Cal had even numbers, 3v3 going forward, and the very first pass completely slowed that attack down.
Unfortunate whistle there against Bella Sember, as Rebimbas, the freshman, her motor was moving to win it back for North Carolina. That'll work well when they break down this game. They love that. If you're going to lose it, win it back. And Rebimbas had won it back before this whistle.
Cal can be crisp here. There's still a lot of time in this game. You find a way to get a goal off this set piece. It'll reinvigorate them.
Headed down by North Carolina. Knocked out of bounds by Cal. A home opener for North Carolina. We've got a sub for Cal. Riley Harmon coming into the game for the Golden Bears. That tie came at a neutral site in Durham, and ironically, Alex Kimball, who's now been promoted to a full-time assistant coach, logged 75 minutes in that match. And then Katie Bowen, who represented New Zealand in the 2023 FIFA World Cup, also saw 75 minutes of playing time. Give you some numbers on how good North Carolina is at home as they spread it to the far side. One back by North Carolina. Extra effort on the left side. Della Rose drops it. Thomas. It'll be another corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina.
Close tackle there in the box, too.
Carolina 402, 32, 18 at home, a winning percentage of 91%. They now have 1,679 goals for, 224 against. Is that good?
It's not bad. And I'm pretty sure in this stadium, it took them 3 or 4 years before they lost a game here in this arena. Third season, I'm being told.
Corner kick, Tar Heels. Continue to try to find Bell. There's Meza. Cranks it up and handled there by Y.
10th shot on goal for the Tar Heels in this game. That's 6 here in the second half alone.
Since Dorrance Field opened in 2019, they have now outscored the opposition 100-21. Keep in mind, too, that an automatic starter defensively would have been Dorsey, who was the two-sport star, but she got injured playing for Coach Levy and the also perennial power North Carolina women's lacrosse team.
There are a couple of players that have played both lacrosse as well as soccer. Had a basketball player.
Yeah, remember Claudia Dickey had wanted to play some hoops.
Pretty sure her first year on campus, she was actually on a basketball scholarship before switching over and just focusing full-time on the soccer side of things.
Cannot wait for the start of the Carolina women's basketball team. Our producer, Matt Krause, the longtime voice now of that team. So fun to watch. They're going to have a lot more depth this season, I believe.
Freshman going off. The way she's walking, and she was up on a toe, I'm thinking cramping is probably a likely culprit here.
Looking like, as Cal makes some subs, it's looking like 4 Tar Heels coming in far side. It's Neil McGuire looking on. Patterson and Sentnor.
Kai Hayes getting ready to check in there too. Be her first time coming in.
Senior out of Florida is Hayes. Boy, good ball right down the middle, then they get it wide. Finding the feet of the Chapel Hillian. Liaro. Once again, Bell gets called for it.
I don't know what she's supposed to do any different there. You could see the referee put up the 3 fingers telling her that's the 3rd time. But we looked at it before. The previous 2, 1, no foul whatsoever. You could see her blatantly try and get the hands out of the way there. I don't know.
No, I agree. I mean, that one, she actually chested down. You can tell Macy Bell was animated because basically, in my view, she was saying, yeah, you've said 3 times, but all 3 were clean. So
am I supposed to not play for the ball? Nice little poke away there.
Elgin, huge.
Well, even though Carolina's got the 2-goal lead and they've dominated this one, they've got to make sure they're staying on their P's and Q's here, because if 1 goal gets in, it's a whole new ball game.
Lima, denied first by Macy Bell, 2nd ball across.
And you know there's going to be 1 more push here from Cal. They're going to take some risks, going to take some chances to try and create an opportunity.
What they'll need to remember is when they do, on the other end of it is back in there, the speedster, Olivia Thomas. Lima, denied by Bell. And here is Thomas. Thomas. Straight power. Thomas still on it. Thomas all by herself. Can she get in? Can she get down? Can she square it? She'll earn a corner kick. Thomas for the Tar Heels down on the ground. What an effort. Corner kick, North Carolina.
Just showed you a couple of tricks in the bag there. The strength to stay on the ball, to stay on her feet. The burst of speed to get the step on the defender. You see they both go down hard here. Thomas back up and walking around. Defender still down though on the end line for Cal.
I don't want to mark her. I do not want to mark her. I mean, she's got the speed. She can turn. We've already shown you that here on ACC Network Extra.
Run through you, run around you, run by you. Pick which way you want to get beat.
Wow, what a force. So corner kick for Elgin and the Tar Heels, trying to add to their 3-1 lead. Looking for Bell yet again. Savvy King. That's Hayes who made this pass. Still loose, turning. Kept alive, but right back to Y. Flag was up anyway, would not have counted. It's 3-1 still North Carolina.
Della Peruta, who had a really good look, couldn't get it off the foot initially.
Captains for North Carolina this year, Macy Bell, Talia Della Peruta, Kai Hayes, and Avery Patterson. Home opener for the 2023 campaign for North Carolina as they are in search of their 23rd overall national championship, and a foul call there. This will be a dangerous free kick, and we should see a card. We will see a card.
You know, every year Anson tests his teams as much as any coach in the country. You have a tough schedule, the gauntlet that is the ACC, but non-conference, they go and play the best they can. They're not afraid to go and do it on the road. It's an easy call there for the referee.
Well, you nailed it. He actually said that They used to spend time trying to analyze who they think is going to be the team that could challenge for the national championship, and then immediately negotiate to come to them saying, you know, even if we lose, we'll learn enough about our team and make the adjustments for that run for the national championship. Top of the 18. He said he did that with Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the schedule and who they have for this season in the next couple of weeks, you've got Alabama, a team that was in the NCAA College Cup, and they're going to Alabama to play them. They played at Penn State first game of the season, so not afraid to go on the road. And, you know, I think he understands that because the ACC is so good, you can afford to go on the road, challenge yourselves in those games, and maybe come away with a draw or an occasional loss, and it's not going to hurt you at the end of the season. You're going to get in the tournament. It's only going to help you. It's something to draw off of.
We saw those great stats. 9 teams ranked in the preseason United Soccer Coaches top 25 on the schedule. I mean, you already had said the ACC is like playing in the NCAA tournament, and then they had all those other teams. Here's a good opportunity for North Carolina right in front, and they're going to, no, offside flag was up, so they will not have to deal with the fact that a little trip right there. The player was offside anyway.
Glad you saw that flag, because cut off from my vision. I thought they were calling the keeper for this one. A good call, though. Just got caught offside a little bit, the younger Della Puerta there.
Bell. Only Moxley rarely comes out. Lima finds the feet of Gray. Gray inside, little turn. Extra effort play for North Carolina to go the other way. Watch the transition on here. Numbers are decent. 3-on-3 at the moment, and a tremendous tackle coming in there from Skylar Briggs. One back, though, by North Carolina. Sentnor wants it back. Lurking on the far side was Avery Patterson.
Really great effort on the back end of that play by Elgin. She was left alone with 2 attackers and the ball coming her way, and was able to get a toe on it to poke it away, spring that counterattack.
More subs coming in here. As you see Colton back in. Macy Teeter had a decent little run. Need to give her some love. The sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, and Holt High School. Patterson. Kept alive right at Y. Emily Colton with the shot.
Great opportunity created off of a simple throw-in. Good positioning from Avery to get her body to where she could shed that defender. Others had to collapse, and she's able to find Colton.
Up next for North Carolina on Thursday here at Dorrance Field, Paula Wilkins and the Wisconsin Badgers. And then on August 27, USC, Southern Cal.
That'll be a good one.
I remember Wisconsin is the place that developed Rose Lavelle. They're not a bad program either. I think Rose Lavelle did all right and continues to do all right.
She's okay at soccer.
Looking for Lima. Lima, pretty good run. Look at that Patterson working her way back in support defensively.
That was just really good instincts from Patterson. She looked around before that ball was played to Lima, realized she had to get over there to cover, and because of it, played it like an attacker almost, and was able to disrupt it.
She's about ready to get the ball back, too, after making that run. She's on it now. Patterson. Look at that. Felt the pressure, cut it back. That pass a little bit off. Harmon. Finds the feet of Gray. Maya Gray and Anissa Gray. Both out on the field now for Coach Neil McGuire, assisted by Corey Callahan, Alex Sunley, and Rachel Mersick. Savvy King. There's 7 minutes remaining. Cal and Neil McGuire will make a change as coming out of the game, Skylar Briggs. Coming into the game, Summer Starziak.
Opportunity to get the freshmen out there on the field, get some experience, start growing and learning. And we talk about North Carolina challenging themselves, willing to go on the road. Obviously, Cal is too. On the road here, East Coast to start their season. They'll have a week off before their next game to recover, get back on the West Coast time. But picked 4th in the Pac-12 this year. These games, these first 2, are going to have no effect on how they finish in conference. You're just hoping to learn and get better by the time you get to that.
Yep. Told you all the reasons why Neil McGuire wanted to do this trip, including if you're going to be the best, you got to play the best, and then getting the opportunity for his team to see different parts of the United States and play 2 established programs in Tennessee and North Carolina. Lucy Bell with that big-time vertical first.
I mean, when she rises up, she's a full head above everybody else that's around her.
She really is. Bossy had it for a moment. Hayes will give it up. We're going to see it start to open up a little bit more now with the 3-1 lead. Colton. Tremendous engine for Lima.
She really does.
And Lima had an opening there.
Take a look at this shoulder shiver. Fossey said, just get off of me. You're a little gnat almost. You know, that attack there, the counter from Lima, I think if that's earlier in the game and she's got her legs and her lungs, that's a goal.
Yeah, it was open, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after seeing her finish in the first half.
Yeah, we talked about the power of Thomas, but Lima also great size, speed, power, good feet. And I think you're right, just fatigue right there is the only difference between where we are right now at 3-1 or 3-2 if she had a little bit more left in her legs. Need to appreciate the effort here from the Cal Golden Bears. Long road trip, right? Long time away from Berkeley. And already lost 4-1, losing to this one 3-1, yet they continue to fight down in the corner to make something happen.
You know, that's something that the coaching staff is going to look at when they go back and look at tape of this one, is who continued to give out maximum effort. It's real easy to kind of mail it in last 5 minutes of a game, second game on the road, you're getting ready to go back home. You can start looking forward to that, but you need to be focused and in the game.
Carolina trying to manage the final 3 as they head to the corner with the 2-goal lead and earn this throw-in. It's exactly what you want to do, just clock keeps ticking. Now 3 minutes remaining in the home opener as North Carolina, their slogan this year, 23-23. What does that mean? Well, they've won 22 national championships. They're looking for 23. We're in 2023. And we've got some more whistles. We'll stop the clock. There'll be a yellow card going against the Golden Bears. As taking the ground there was Tori Della Peruta.
Trying to get to that flag. Ball had gone out. Well, it couldn't have been on Harmon. She was number 7.
More boxing out in the corner. Golden Bears sent it to Lima. Lima, a handful, was fouled.
Well, if you're a North Carolina fan after that first game, 0-0, may have some concerns because you don't score and you have all these high hopes coming off of a national championship game run last year. I think you can have those concerns eased after this one with the way this offense has put on a show.
Indeed. And one way to do that is to score within the first 5 minutes. They got the goal from Patterson in minute 3. Yes, they did give up the equalizer, but as you already said, and I know I'm repeating myself, but repetition is information, that hydration break, we thought maybe that's when they would bring them in, but letting the starters run just a little bit longer brought those subs in, and you called it a team goal, and most of the touches came from subs, and that 2-1 lead, to me, changed the whole look of this game.
It really did. It felt like you were going to go into the locker room even. And in a match where Carolina had dominated possession, dominated opportunities, if you can get in after the first 45 at 1-1, you feel good if you're Cal. But it was 2-1 and then very quickly 3-1 because Carolina jumped on them right in the start of the second half. So you're right. It changed there, and then it really hammered it home with that third goal.
Great work by Hayes winning it. Kai Hayes has had a nice little shift here, making herself available and allowing Meza to venture forward a little bit more. Under a minute, there's Damon Nahas, the associate head coach. Longtime assistant coach, part of all those other national championships. Great Dino, Bill Palladino. Chris Ducar has moved up to general manager. Tom Sanders still around. He's been around forever as well. And we've got just 15 seconds remaining. Knocked out of bounds as North Carolina put this game on ice. They had one in the second half. Final score, number 2 North Carolina 3, Cal 1 in the home opener for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I said it in the open, my favorite part of this time of the